YouTube. Yes. Oh, yeah. All right, we are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? How are you all doing today? Welcome to the show. It is not as windy today, so I believe I'll be able to run a show with minimal wind noise affecting the microphone. You know, even with this really nice windscreen here, which also acts as a pop filter, even with this nice windscreen to minimize wind noise, sometimes the gusts get so high that, you know, no windscreen can block the heaviest winds and stuff, but it's better than not having it on there. But today I think the wind is, you know, it's not as heavy to the point of where it'll do a good job. We can run a good show. Hope you're all having a great day. I'm having a phenomenal day. I feel fantastic. I feel so fantastic that I'm going to be doing a second show tonight from my other channel, Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. My lady sent me another very, very interesting blog story regarding a woman that has given a man the ultimatum to get married by summer or else. And they haven't been dating for too long, I think less than 6 months. And they're in their early to mid 20s. I have my thoughts on that, and it's a very interesting story. I'll be sharing that along with 3 other great and very interesting Reddit postings tonight from the studio on my other channel, Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams, again at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Hope you can join us. Nightbot sharing the link to Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams every 7 minutes in the chat, or you can go below in the description and get it there. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss anything, right? Hey, Coach Sharon. I will always win ultimatums. That's a promise. Michael Portnoy didn't miss anything at all. We just got started here. Welcome to the show, Michael Portnoy. So far, good. Excellent. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Welcome. Great to see you here. Audio, video, good, folks? We should be okay today. Oh, the wind is literally about a third of what it was yesterday. You can see for yourself. Yeah, some wind's hitting my face right now, but it's not as hard, and you probably can't even tell because the wind today is supposed to be like under 15 miles per hour. Gusts like up to 15, but typically under 10, and that's no sweat for the, you know, the windscreen. Like some people like to call it, they like to call it a Wookiee testicle. All right, whatever. It's all good. Whatever floats your boat is all good with me. People that are taking pictures up ahead, so I'm going to wait until they're done to move forward. I got some great community news to share with you folks here in just a few seconds. I'm just waiting here. I'll show you the sights from this angle. So yeah, it still is a little bit windy, but not as bad. It is tolerable. Gonna wait for a few more people to pop on in, and then we're gonna get right to it. Now, I will make it clear here that some of the things I say here today might raise an eyebrow or two from my moderators, but I've made some decisions that I feel are going to best benefit everybody. Gemma's Journey's great. Gemma's Journey Grace, I mean, in the house. Hey, Gemma, how you doing? NCS Queen is in the house. Welcome. Welcome to the show. So like I said, some of the things I say here may raise an eye. I want you all to know that when I make decisions for my YouTube channels and my business, I also base those decisions on what's best for all my collaborators and moderators as well. I always take everyone's thoughts and feelings into consideration when making decisions that can affect people I'm associated with. So I wanted to lead in with that before I mention what I'm going to mention. And this is part of the topic here today. We're going to be discussing, I posted it in the chat, the problem with running a business on social media shared platforms. What is the problem? Or what are the problems with running a business on social media? And in parentheses, I put shared platforms. Well, to give you the simple, short version of the answer, it is the fact that they are all shared platforms, which leaves people very vulnerable to hate and attacking and all that crazy shit that I've experienced, and you've probably experienced too, being on social media. But now that I've had, I'd say, about 15 plus years of experience in being on social media, and I've had 5 plus years of experience of being a full-time YouTuber, which is the platform where people, I feel, get attacked and trolled and scrutinized the most. I consider myself to be an expert on how to properly run a business out here on YouTube and other social media platforms. I've learned what to expect, what to focus your time on, and what to stay the hell away from if you don't want to waste your time and drain your energy and set yourself back and potentially give away your revenue to other people. So we're going to share more about that here in just a little bit. Okay. Can somebody type something in the chat? I want to make sure that my chat hasn't frozen. And how's the audio and video? Are we still doing good? It's not choppy or anything. It's a little windy, but not that bad. It is tolerable, like I said. Somebody please type something to make sure that my chat has not frozen. If not, I will go off the air for a second and then come right back. And that'll make the chat become unstuck. Well, I think the chat has been frozen. I'll be right back, folks. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Yep, and I was right again. It froze. Gemma's Journey Grace says, yeah, Eli, you're good. Thank you, Gemma. Gemma says, hey, Josh, bro. NC's Queen says, Eli did a great job on Shangy. I'm going to share my thoughts about that here in a second. And some updates that my moderators don't even know about. Because they happen at the last minute. Coach Jerome, negative comments in search optimization are a mofo. Yeah, they are, J-Ron. They are. Audio's good, video's good, says Coach J-Ron. Thank you. Yeah, negative comments in search optimization, can't be damning. I've been able to remove most of those negative search results because they used my content. It was trolls using my content. And I was able to take them down for copyright infringement. But here's the thing. There's no way in hell you're ever going to be able to remove every little piece of negative information regarding you and your business on the internet. On YouTube, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. The key is you have to learn how to handle it. You have to learn to understand first and foremost that everything you put out, privately or to a group of friends only, you might as well consider it public. Because all it takes is for one of your friends to say, hey, let's have some fun with Eli, and let's share, this photo he shared to friends only to other people, that really wanted to make content off of it, right? And to scrutinize it, right? That's all it takes, right? It's one leak. And unfortunately, there are people nowadays that get off on doing that shit. So the key, the most important thing that I've learned, not only since I've been on YouTube, but before YouTube, when I was doing things more so on Facebook and LinkedIn, is never ever put anything out there, regardless of its privacy setting, even private or even to friends only or contacts only, right? Never put anything out there that you wouldn't want to go public at some point. Because here's the thing. If you don't do it, they can't use it against you, right? If you don't put it out there at all, then it doesn't exist, right? If it exists, regardless of its privacy setting, you have to assume at some point someone will make it public. That's just the way people are. That's the way things go. So that's tip number 1 right there. But there are, other aspects that people don't learn until they go through them. For example, coming out here on YouTube, people don't understand how YouTube works and what certain people do on YouTube that could affect you. And if you're not well versed on that before you come out here and run a business or start any YouTube channel, you're going to go through the ringer like I did. And that's why I share my stories. I want to share my stories so you folks can learn from my honest mistakes, because I didn't make these mistakes on purpose. I want you folks to learn from my honest mistakes, so you don't go down the same path I did and set yourself back 5 years like I have. Imagine if I knew 5 years ago what I know now. Imagine if I knew 5 years ago what I know now. I'm going to come and sit over here for a second. There's a guy coming behind me. I'm going to let him pass. Be respectful. Rosie Wren, the queen of YouTube. No audio. I can't hear a thing. Is my audio working, or is it just Rosie's audio turned off? Folks, have you heard me all along? Is it just Rosie's audio? Rosie, turn your volume on or reset your stream. It's an issue on your end. I guess it's my audio. Yeah, just reset the device you have, restart it, or shut down the YouTube app and start it up. Or maybe your volume's turned all the way down. It's muted on your phone or device, so turn it up. Or maybe you're muted on your volume. That happens. All right. Josh, good to see you, says Gemma's Journey Grace. Gemma put out a new video, I believe, today on her channel, so go check it out. Gemma, feel free to share the link to your video on your channel. Moderators, feel free to share your channel links anytime here in my chats. I appreciate you doing that. Hi, Gemma, says Coach Aaron. Hi, Gemma, says Rosie. Coach Aaron says, sorry, driving. Yeah, no worries, man. Be safe. Be safe out there, brother. Be safe. All right, so I mentioned that I'm going to share some things right now that my moderators don't even know about. It was a last-minute thing that I decided to do. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the future. So I'm going to be not paying attention to the chat here for a little bit. Last night, I made an appearance on the Mad Shangy show. And, you know, I was on there probably for about 5 to 10 minutes or so. Didn't get a chance to say a lot. You know, I chatted it up with a few people on there. Coach J-Ron was on there, and JT, Jonathan Tuttle, you know, who runs the Adventures with JT channel. It's a little bit stronger here, folks. I hope you can still hear me. When I get past this area, I'm sure it'll die down a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then Mrs. Shangy was on there as well. And I got an opportunity to talk with everybody, except for Shangy. He was trying to, you know, keep the show going and you know, play the videos and stuff like that. And I know how that goes when you're running a panel and you're also playing clips and showing screenshots. You know, you're doing like double duty, triple duty, you're multitasking. So I didn't really get a chance to talk with Patrick, aka the Mad Shangy. And this is news to my mods as well, behind the scenes, because it just happened right before I went live. Can you still hear me okay? There's a little bit of wind, but it should be okay. Are we good? Excuse me. Those damn allergies, you know? Yes, you're good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, Patrick, aka the Mad Shangy, sent me an email. And I'm sure you're going to be listening, Patrick. I'm still working on the channels that are banned here and this and that. I'll share more about that in a second. But Patrick, the Mad Shangy, from the Mad Shangy Army channel, Mad Shangy Army 2, which is what he's working on primarily now, where he did the show last night, sent me an email apologizing that, you know, he had to remove me from the panel last night, and he wanted to see if I wanted to go back on his channel and finish saying what else I had to say. And I thought about it for a few seconds, and I came up with this decision. And I feel it's not only the best decision for myself, but I feel it's not going to affect anyone that I'm connected with. Because I always take all of you folks that are connected with me into consideration, right? I'm going to go ahead and agree to go on another show with the Mad Shangy. But what I would like to do, Patrick, if you're watching, I'm sure you're watching, man. And I think you're still banned here. I will figure that out behind the scenes. I also want to coordinate this with my moderators and be respectful to them. But I think what a good idea would be is maybe you and I go one-on-one for an hour or so, maybe hour and a half, maybe at least an hour. You and I go one-on-one. You ask any questions you want. Nothing is off the table. If something is asked that I've talked about many times before and already addressed, I will probably briefly readdress it, the synopsis version, for the new people that haven't heard me speak about this before. But what I would rather more so focus on are, you know, we could talk about things in the past and talk about maybe how we've worked through it and how we've risen above things and stuff like that, right? And maybe why certain things happen, no problem. What I don't want to do is beat a dead horse. I don't want to beat a dead horse on stupid things that have already been, you know, addressed and answered many, many times, where the majority of our past audience knows and our new audience wouldn't gain any benefit knowing that crap anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I want to make this productive. And then after an hour or so, if you want to bring on other people, no problem. I'd be happy to answer questions and engage other people, even people that aren't too fond of me. Because here's the thing, folks, you got to learn to deal with people that aren't too fond of you. And all I'll tell you is this, I'll be upfront and honest. I don't get triggered anymore. If people come on and they start to attack me, you don't have to remove them. You don't have to remove anyone from your chats. I'll just say, hey, that's your opinion. That's all I'm going to say. That's your opinion. And, yeah, I've already discussed this many times. I mean, sounds like you're not here to have a reasonable discussion. Sounds like you're here to just stir up the drama pot and attack, and I'm not here for that. But thank you for your question, right? And that's the way I'm going to handle it. So the Matt Shangy, Anna says can't listen, but stopping in to say hi. Let me reset the chat here because I think it froze again. All right. So people are just listening. Nobody's chatting right now. They're just listening. No problem. So that's the way I'm going to be handling things from here on out. Whoa. The gusts are getting a little bit higher here. So give me just a second. And that's the way I'm going to be handling these things from here on out. With that being said, I am also willing to go on anyone else's panels and answer questions, introduce myself, and talk about any life's principles. I'm a life coach. I can talk about anything and everything. I want to spread my wings. I want to open things up. I want to give people the opportunity to speak with me, whether they like me, like what I do, or don't like me or like what I do. Because I honestly feel we can learn from both sides. We can learn from both ends of the spectrum. People that don't like what I do and people that like what I do. As long as we handle it in a reasonable, professional, respectful, and mature way, like I always say. And that's going to be at the discretion of the channel owner. And my future appearances with people that I become guests of on their shows will be based on how they handle things while I'm there, the first time. And that's the way I'm going to handle things. If things don't go well, I can just politely bow out. For example, last night, I'll be real honest, it was kind of weird, that I wasn't able to stay on that panel till the end of the show. And, at least, Patrick, you were very, very polite. You said you're going to put me backstage, but I was thinking to myself, what good am I going to be sitting backstage when I'm not coming back on the show? I might as well leave, right? And then some people, I guess I heard from behind the scenes that some people in your chat were saying, oh, he's upset, he's rage quitting. How was I upset? Go back and watch that video. How was I upset? Some people just are so insecure within themselves that they can't stand, people that are happy within themselves, regardless of what they're doing. And that's all that was happening, I got the hint. I was not wanted by someone or multiple people on that panel after 10 minutes of being on there and being very reasonable and kind and civil, right? I was not wanted on that panel. But I'm willing to give it another chance because the Mad Shangy reached out to me. He apologized to me. And I'm going to take him at his word. And if I go on there and it doesn't pan out, then I just won't go on there again. And I will just remove myself in a respectful way. I want to start spreading my wings more on many different platforms, because the more and more people I can connect with, my entire group can connect with those people. My entire group can connect with those people, which is what I'm trying to say. And we can all grow further exponentially together and learn from each other, good, bad, or indifferent. Again, I'm not going to focus, much time, if any time at all, if things turn negative, but I want to give people the opportunity. I'm at the point right now where, I'm not afraid to face anyone. And I figure, hey, look, if there are many people on this platform that aren't happy with what I'm doing, why don't we give them a chance to speak with me directly one-on-one through a panel? And all I can say is this: I can promise you this. At the end of the day or the night, whenever that panel is, no matter how much people come at me and say things from the past or whatever, or make things up or try to trigger me, I'll be the last person getting triggered. I'll just be very respectful. And quite frankly, deep within, I'm going to feel sorry for you that you just can't let things go. Especially let things go deep within yourself that are bothering you. Because it's not really me that's bothering you. What's really bothering you is that you are unhappy with yourself deep within, and I understand that, right? And if you want to come on a platform and project that onto me, that's on you. I'm just not going to get mad at you because I feel sorry for you that you haven't worked through your own issues yet. It's all good. It's all good. What are your thoughts regarding that, folks? Let me know in the chat. Hey, babe, I saw you moderate that. You deleted a message. You should just ban accounts like that. I'm sure you hit the wrong button by mistake, or maybe you were trying to give somebody a chance, but yes, you're right, Eli. Well, Gemma, can you please be more specific? Let me know, Gemma, because here's the thing, Gemma. You know what I respect about you, Gemma, is you've always been the kind of person, a lot like me, that likes to tackle things head on. And honestly, I think that is the best way to handle things, right? Now, sometimes it's better to withdraw, right? If you're not in a good enough position mentally and emotionally, and people are going to be able to trigger you, then withdrawing is the best thing. But when you get to the point of where I've gotten to, you've gotten that strong, and now you want to come out there and face everything head on, that's the best way to do it. Face everything head on and let people burn themselves, right? Let people either burn themselves or realize that, hey, you know what? You can do better things with your time and become a better person, right? Whew. I hope you can hear me. It's a little windy on this side here, but I still think you can hear me. Gemma's Journey Grace says, yes, I mean, when it comes to withdrawing from people, it is for the best, or you and the people who you associate with. Right. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. We're getting pretty windy here. We're getting pretty windy here. So I need to wait for this wind to pass. It's pretty strong here. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Gemma. It's just the gusts. It's the gusts that reach 30 to 40 miles per hour. There are 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts right here in this area. It's not supposed to be this windy today. That's what the forecast said, but hey, you just never know. But it's much better than it was yesterday, I will say that. Yeah, Gemma, we know withdrawing is one of the best things you can do, but down the road, when you build your strength and you learn from these things, especially myself as a coach, what I want to do is show strength and display strength for other people by doing this. And that's why, I'm going to be opening up my floodgates even more and saying anybody that wants me on their panels, if you want to have a one-on-one with me and even bring on a panel of people to ask me questions, go for it. I'm ready for it. But if you're going to try to do that, to try to flip the script on me with older content where I said some things I shouldn't have, or ask me questions that I've answered a million times, it's not going to trigger me, and I'm not going to talk about that, or maybe briefly touch up on about it for people that haven't been around in a while, but that's about it. But it's just not going to work. I feel that the more and more people that we connect with and talk about these things with, or any life principles, the better it's going to be for everyone that I'm associated with as well. We need to really start to step out of the box, step out of our comfort zones, and move things forward one way or another. I hope you folks understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to be as respectful and mature and professional about this as possible. When you tackle people head on, you know where you stand. So are you saying you respect that, Gemma? Because I think you do. And I think that's the kind of person you are. And you've always been that way, and so have I. But I think now, Gemma, if we talk about our experiences out here on YouTube, because we're talking about social media, running a business on social media today, right? How hard it is, right? Especially because social media platforms are a shared platform where people can attack you. You're susceptible to the court of public opinion and hate and attacks and belittling and defamation of character and all that crap, right? I think you and I have both learned how to better handle ourselves, not let people get to us, and move forward by showing that strength when we collaborate with other creators, whether it be on a live stream or a pre-recorded video, and they try to trigger us, right? It just doesn't get to us anymore. It doesn't faze us anymore. Yes, I respect that, of course. Yes, I've had that happen. I've got stronger through it. And you have. You have, Gemma, and I've really seen you get stronger. I've really seen you become stronger. There's somebody coming behind me, so I'm going to step up to the side and let them pass. Give me a second here. There's a billboard out there. Hire easy, outbound recruiting. Okay. We don't even spell words out completely nowadays. Instead of E-A-S-Y, we say E, the letter E, and the letter Z. Hire E-Z. And look at how simple, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. It is such a simple billboard. It's black with the logo. Very simple. I'll be right back, folks. Me and you have been through some shitstorms on this platform. We have, Gemma. We have, Gemma. And you want to know something? You want to know something, Gemma? I'm really proud of you, and I'm really grateful and thankful that, not only you've given me another opportunity to work with you and support you, but other people that I know are good people that have come back to work with me as well. And it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. And here's the thing. Folks, what I've realized in life, whether it be at a personal or professional level, Just because it doesn't work out with certain people the first time around doesn't mean years down the road they're not going to come back into your life and revisit things, whether it be a personal relationship or professional one, right? And that's why I always live by the principle of not burning any bridges unless you absolutely have to. One more time, do not burn any bridges unless you absolutely have to, right? Because once you burn a bridge, you can't cross anymore ever again. It's done. And rebuilding a bridge on your own is not possible. You know, it's hard to trust people, right? And when people first come into your life, you don't know a thing about them, right? So you feel less prone to trust them, especially if they're doing everything right. You're like, okay, this dude or this woman is doing everything too perfectly, so there's something wrong. And there may not be anything wrong, but because you're so used to people doing you wrong, you assume everyone's doing you wrong, including people that are doing you right. So sometimes it just takes time for people to get to know you and like you and trust you. I've seen this happen to me in my life time and time and time again. I've had ex-girlfriends in the past revisit, you know, trying to get back together with me 5 to 7 years down the road. Happened a few times in my younger days. And you know what? I met up with them a few times, and I just realized that it's just not even worth giving them a second chance, just because, you know, I made some changes and they couldn't accept me for the way I was before, but now I'm a much better version of myself, and they're with me just because of that. If somebody can't be with you during your rough times, then they don't deserve to be with you during your good times. And those are the lessons I want to teach you folks. And that's another thing here. You know, the last 5 years out here on YouTube, especially probably the first 2 to 3 years. The last 2 years or so have been much better for me out here on YouTube because I learned to handle myself better. But the first 2 to 3 years, even stemming back to my former channel I used to run, those were some rough times. Those were some really, really rough times. And there are many people that have stuck by me throughout all those rough times, and I respect you folks. You are people that understand how this works, what I just mentioned works, right? Never burn any bridges unless you absolutely have to. You never know when you're going to need someone's support, right? And then there are people that, you know, have never, ever, you know, given it a chance since that point. There are those people that you get one shot with, right? And if you make an honest mistake, you know, they basically blacklist you and you're done, right? I don't like to live my life that way. Nobody is ever blacklisted out of my life, and I mean that. Even people that, you know, I will not talk with today under any circumstance. There's always a possibility they could even change their ways. There's always a possibility anyone can change their ways. I just won't associate with people while they're in a horrible state to the point of where, you know, they can't recognize, you know, how decent of a person I feel I am. But that's up to them and everyone else to decide that, right? Well, everybody deserves another chance. Yes, there has been things I've not been happy about, you may have said in the past, but I'm here to see you change. Yeah, but here's the thing, Gemma. We've already addressed all those things. And all those things that I said were not because I meant those things. Those things were said because I was put in a position by other people that put you in that same position. Hence, I won't mention this too much publicly, but the video I shared privately behind the scenes regarding what another content creator put you through years ago, they did the same thing to me. And that's why I reacted to you, not because I actually felt that way about you, because I was manipulated, and I was pinned and pitted against you and many other people. And I fell victim to the fake instigated drama game. That's all it was. And I apologize for that. Even though it was out of my control and out of your control because we had no idea what was going on, we both fell victim to that. But the honest to God truth, Gemma, is I've never hurt a soul on this platform. And everything I've done out here or on social media has always been with the best intentions. But when people have tried to destroy my brand and come at me, beyond a reasonable level, I've had to take certain actions to protect myself. And everything I've done has been for the right reasons. You think I've zoomed too close? How have I zoomed too close? I'm not zoomed too close. When I do this, I'm looking at the chat, bro. I'm not zoomed too close. Look. Can you folks still see the video? Let me know in the chat. Sometimes when I tap the screen to zoom in and out, it goes black. Is the video still working? We can now. Gemma, the video is working. It's not a black screen with just audio, right? I want to make sure that happens sometimes when I tap the screen to zoom in and out. It's pinch zoom. Yeah, someone let me know. If not, I'll just reset it and it'll come back. But I can't tell on my end. It's showing video on my end, but what's going out could be different. It is great now. We can see you. Thank you. Nice view, says Anna. Hey, Anna, how you doing? Welcome to the show. How's your day going? All right, so this is episode number 287, I believe. Somebody double check that on the thumbnail and the description. I believe this is episode number 287. Thank you, Gemma. And today, we're talking about, the challenges of running a business on social media. The difficulties of running a business on social media. Let me reset the chat one more time and I'll be right back. All right, we should be back. We should be back live. The topic is written, the problem with running a business on social media. Shared platform in parentheses. The problem with running a business on social media. Shared platform. And it's not just a single problem. There are multiple problems. There are multiple things that can distract you and throw you off your purpose and throw you off your mission of success, right? And I'm going to sit here and tell you folks that a lot of these things I talk about here today are things that have happened to me and things that are going to continue to be scrutinized by the people I talk about. And I'm not talking about people I'm not talking about people specifically, which is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying in general. What I talk about here today will be scrutinized by the types of people I talk about that are a distraction to you being successful on social media. And if you can learn to overcome these distractions, the possibilities are limitless. They're endless. They really are. I used to let these people get to me. I used to care about what they thought about me. One of the first things you have to do is not care about what anyone thinks about you. no matter what. That doesn't mean you don't value good opinions, but you should only focus on valuing the opinions and comments from people that are respectfully coming at you. And that also includes whether they disagree or agree with you. It doesn't matter whether people agree with what you're saying or disagree. What matters is how they do it. What matters is, are they here? Are they a part of your business or YouTube channel or social media platform to bring more value even with their disagreements? Or are they there to just create ruckus, right? That's what you have to learn to decipher, right? And when you first come onto social media and run a business and you don't understand that, like I didn't, no matter how well you understand how that happens in real life, it's not going to help you on social media until you go through it on social media. And I'll tell you this, YouTube again is the best place to experience that because of the way YouTube is set up, video style, with their live streams, right? And I will tell you this. I will tell you what I've learned. If you can become strong enough to be a YouTuber and deal with what I've dealt with, and Gemma Grace has dealt with, and Coach Jerome has dealt with, and Lewis Fuller has dealt with, and Anna Rom, I got your name right, has dealt with, right? And everyone's here, too many to mention, sorry if I didn't mention you. If you can become strong enough to understand this, okay, you will reach tremendous success. If you learn to understand how to deal with this. And I've learned to deal with it, and that provides value for you folks. Now, I'm not trying to shove value down your throat. You can figure that out on your own. But that provides value for anyone that wants to run an online business. And let me tell you something, folks. The way the world is going, the majority of businesses are already online. And more are going there. So do you think that learning this and understanding this will provide you value? Because I'll tell you this, the people that, have come at us to stop our success are going to continue coming at us saying that you're a piece of crap. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a fake life coach. You're a phony. You're a fraud. Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, right? And because your opinion doesn't matter to me, I'm not going to value it. But I'm speaking about this, like I always say, for example purposes, right? For example purposes, right? So more and more you can become stronger and rise above all of this so you can be successful. That's what it all boils down to. I'm going to have to stop here in a second and use the restroom. Let's be polite. Is that you respectfully, maturely, and professionally? Baby, your screen is wigging out. Is anyone else having a screen wig out, or is that just your phone? Can somebody else tell me, is the audio and video good? I think it's your devices, folks. I'm all good. All right. Yeah, we should be back live. Is that better? Can you folks hear me and see me better? I must have gone through a bad reception spot or electrical interference or something like that. That happens sometimes. A good reset of the network and shutting down the app and restarting it should fix it. Are we back to normal here? If not, then it's a YouTube issue. It was probably an electrical interference issue or cell tower issue or something temporarily. Can you folks hear me clearly and see me clearly? There are only 2 people here. There could be a YouTube issue happening right now. Boy, go figure, man. Just my luck. Now there are 3 people here. Can somebody verify if we're coming through clearly? You know, like the Mad Shangy says always, live television, folks, live television, right? Right, Patrick? Patrick, tonight's not a good night, but if you want to do it tomorrow night, if you're around tomorrow night or any other night this week, any other evening this week, anytime after 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 Eastern. I believe you're on the West Coast in Canada, just like I'm on the West Coast here in California. Tonight's not going to work, but any other night this week. Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. Those are 3 great days, anytime after 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. You got my email, and I will figure out the unbanning of channels and stuff like that. What I will do, Patrick, is I will unban all of your channels and see how that goes before I unban the channels of other people in your entire group. And let's make it very, very clear. I'm not talking about one particular other person. I'm talking about your entire group. That's the whole thing. Like, I want to get with you first, give you the opportunity, because quite frankly, I've really never had an issue with you. And maybe you've had some issues with me, but I really don't think you have. I think it's all been one big misunderstanding and learning experience. But hey, no worries. To each its own. Hello, everyone. Hey, Dusty. Babe, is it back to normal? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, are we back to normal? Is the video good and the audio good again? She says hi to Dusty's girl. Hello, Dusty's girl. And doesn't let me know if the audio and video is good. You folks were saying that my video was like all crazy. But you're not letting me know if the audio and the video is back to being normal. Sounds good here. What about the picture? Is the picture normal or is it wigging out? Like my lady and Jerem were saying the video was just going crazy earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off the air for, well, not yet because there's somebody coming now. I got to stop and use the restroom in just a little bit here. I want to wait when no one's around. Good for now. Okay. I'm just wondering why my lady won't respond to that. Babe, do you have selective hearing, babe? No disrespect. I think no disrespect. I'm just gonna keep my comment to myself. I'm gonna keep my comment to myself regarding what I was about to say. Sometimes I gotta put my foot in my mouth, right? It's just the way it is, right? Even though there's a lot of truth to everything I say, sometimes it's just better left unsaid, right? Better left untold, right? Yeah. Yeah, so running a business on social media can be very lucrative, can be very rewarding. It allows just about anyone and everyone on the entire planet to run a home-based business. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't realize about me, because I talk more about relationship dynamics between men and women and marriage and divorce and all that stuff. I'm also a business coach. I'm very business savvy. You know, I've run a successful insurance business in the past. I made the transition from working in the corporate world to becoming a self-employed entrepreneur. It's not an easy transition because, you know, you for a while until you make enough money in your self-employed business, you still need to work your day job to pay the bills. Unless you save up a good amount of money and you quit your job and give yourself a couple years to get your business off the ground, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take at least a year to a year and a half to get your business off the ground. A lot of people think that, okay, I've now started a YouTube channel. I've created my own product. I'm going to create one YouTube video, go viral, and make $1 million. So I'm going to quit my job. No, that's the worst thing you can do. Do some people get lucky and that happens? Sure, but that is extremely rare and more than likely not going to happen for you. I think that guy is kicking back at the observation deck. And I think he's coming back. I'm going to wait for him to jog back. All right, I'm going to go off the air right now. Hang on, I can't see. Oh, no, he's coming. He's coming. I'm going to wait right here for a second. Check out the chat and wait for this guy to pass by. Then I'm going to go off the air for a second. So everyone has the opportunity nowadays to become self-employed. And I think everyone, to a certain extent, whether they do it full-time or as a side hustle, which is what they call, is going to have some self-employed type of business over the next 5 to 10 years, right? So all of you need to learn how to deal with the court of public opinion. All of you need to learn to deal with scrutiny. You need to learn to deal with people. If you put out your real name, which if you want to bring more value to what you're selling, using your real name and showing your face is the best way to do that. But at the same time, that exposes your name. They can do a background check and find your address and find everything out about you, your friends, your family. You've got to be prepared for that, and you've got to know how to handle that, right? And part of preparing for that is knowing about it before you do this. Because I didn't know about all this when I came out on YouTube 5.5 years ago or so on my former channel. And it surprised me, and it affected my relationship with my girlfriend at the time. It also affected my family, right? And other business contacts. And now I've learned how to better handle that. You folks need to learn what I've been through if you want to be successful online. And that's part of what I offer within my business coaching services. Give me a second here. The guy's coming by. All right, I'm going to go off the air for a second, folks. I'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. All right, we should be back live. We should be back live. No, Dusty's girl. I am not on a different trail. I am on the usual trail that I do. I plan on switching it up, again soon. It's just been easier for me to get to the trail closest to me because I've had a lot of other things to work on lately. And my lady, we hadn't planned on seeing each other at least on Saturday, possibly yesterday. We might have seen each other, but we made some last minute plans for her to come over to my place on Saturday night, and she was gonna go home yesterday in the early afternoon, but she ended up staying. I ended up, saying, hey, let's just stay an extra day and we can celebrate Mother's Day together. So there's been a lot going on, and again, another thing, and we keep pushing it back. Like my lady and her story, babe, we got to find time to record that sometime, this week or on the weekend or something. There's just been a lot going on with other things outside of YouTube for her and I. and we've been focusing on our energy on that. And I've had my regular stuff on YouTube and other coaching business stuff and other family stuff to deal with. So it's been quite overwhelming lately. But it is what it is. It's all part of the fun and games, right? You wanted to push it back, babe. Hey, babe, look. I wasn't feeling too good that morning, and I know you're giving me a little friendly shit, but I don't want to ever push anything back. Things come up. Things come up that are more important, that are a priority. And when we do this, babe, I want to do this justice. I want to give this as much justice as possible because you have one of the most incredible stories that I've heard. And I know your story can help a lot of people, especially a lot of women in your same situation can really, really learn from this. Video's fried again. All right, we should be back live. Let me know if that's better, folks. I think what happens out here in this area is we're right alongside 101, a lot of cars driving by. And I think a lot of these cars at times suck up a lot of the cell bandwidth. If the cell bandwidth goes below like 2 megabits a second, it affects the video. You need about 2 megabits per second to stream smoothly at the max resolution that YouTube lets you stream at for mobile at 720p at 2 megabits per second. If that cell tower can't send you a constant stream at 2 megabits per second, then you're going to have jitter and shit like that. The audio needs far less bandwidth. It's like 128 kilobits, but the video needs like almost 20 times more bandwidth than the audio. So that could be it, but are we doing okay? Sent you a video of what I was doing in the group. Is it back to normal again, J-Rom? It probably was pixelating and stuff like that, right? Yes, it's back to normal. Yeah, it could be that part of the trail. It could be a bandwidth issue temporary. I mean, look, you have a lot of cars passing by here on Highway 101. This is what I think it is. And this is the cell tower out here has a 6-mile radius. So if for a 6-mile radius of these cars driving alongside 101, if they're all watching videos and stuff and sucking up that cell tower bandwidth, then you're screwed. Nothing you can do about it. Some days are better than others, right? You have a bunch of kids like in a minivan, bunch of minivans with kids just watching videos, streaming. And these cell towers now have gigabits of bandwidth, right? They've got probably like 10 gigabits of bandwidth. But even with that, I mean, in a large metropolitan area, you could easily suck up 10 gigabits of bandwidth. There's a bunny right there. What's up, bunny? That's a jackrabbit. We are at 63 minutes. I'd say probably minus a couple minutes. We're almost at like 62 minutes, an hour and 2 minutes right now. No pixels. It looked like an... Okay. But with color. All right. Whoa, that bunny just jumped right out of the trail. Or onto the trail, I mean. Another one. There are lots of jackrabbits out today. Right there, you see it? Those suckers are pretty quick. So what questions do you folks have regarding running a business on social media? And the challenges of running a business on social media. There's a lot of jackasses out today too. It's funny, man. That's great. That is wonderful. I'm going to take this moment again to remind you folks tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, from the studio, live on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams, my other channel. I'm going to be doing a stream regarding a blog story my lady sent me that's very interesting. Man and a woman in their early to mid 20s that I've been dating, I think 6 months or less. The woman's given the man an ultimatum to marry her by summertime or else. And the short end of the answer is this: if my woman or any other woman did that to me, I'd be saying fuck no. And there's the road. There's the road. Sorry. Well, the road would work too, but there's the door. Don't let it hit your ass on the way out. Right? Don't even get my door dirty with your ass on the way out. You should never ever put up with that. But I think I have an idea on why she is trying to lock him down. And she's giving him an ultimatum. And I'll share more about why I think she's trying to do that on that stream tonight on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Nightbot's sharing the link in the chat every 7 minutes to Coach Eli 2, or you can go below in the description and click it there. Make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss anything. I personally only use social media for advertising and run my business via website in person or via the phone/video consulting. You would not split. Okay. Adventures with JT. Hey, how you doing, brother? What's going on? JT, it was a great pleasure to be with you on that panel last night on the Mad Shangy Army 2 channel. If you missed the first part of the show, JT, I'm probably going to go on solo with Shangy. He's emailed me and invited me to go back on there and finish saying what I was going to say. I shared more about that at the beginning of the stream, so if you want to check out the replay when it's done, just the first part, you'll hear more. And I'll share more behind the scenes with you folks. Channel member and moderator. Okay, cool. Sounds good. JT, channel member and moderator. Thank you, JT. Thank you, brother. You're a good man. You're a very good man. It's been a pleasure, bro, reconnecting with you and having some reasonable discussions with you. You've got a lot of knowledge, dude, and I respect that. Same with J-Rom. Coach J-Rom has a lot of knowledge. Gemma Grace has a lot of knowledge. My lady has a lot of knowledge. Anna Ram, J-Rom's future wife, has a lot of knowledge. I think I did mention my lady before. She chastises me, right? I got that. Lewis Fuller has a lot of knowledge. And Midnight Raven. And many others. If I forgot, Will has a lot of knowledge. Not So Nerdy Gaming Channel. The group that we've been rebuilding here, as part of the, formerly known as the Coach Eli clan. I don't really refer to the group in this way anymore. But we've really got a great group of people, positive people, and people that are here to help uplift you. And we uplift each other each and every day. And we'd love for you folks to join us. Start off by coming here to these streams and or watching the pre-recorded videos, but I stream all the time and I can engage you in that way. And from there, we can introduce you to everybody, and then some of you may become moderators too and join us in our private chat behind the scenes, which is even more interesting. Oh, I forgot Dion. I forgot Sifu Smo Dion. Another guy that has a lot of knowledge. Now, he's a little younger than all of us. He's the millennial in the group. Well, so is Gemma, but Gemma's a little older than Dion. Gemma, I think what is Gemma now? 33, 34, almost 35, something like that. I think Dion is the baby in the group, right, J-Rom? Or babe, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. All we got to do is talk to RMP to get Eli disciplined. LOL. Well, that's not true, bro. I am a man that stands alone when it comes to making decisions for my life. When it comes to making decisions for my relationship with my lady, we do that together. But I'm still an individual, and so is she. But I know you're just jerking my chain. And that's all good. Adventures with JT, Jonathan Tuttle. Troll the century, right? It's all good, bro. It's all good. I was joking, LOL, of course. And J-Rom, Anna is technically a millennial. No, she is. She is a millennial. But Anna is what, 35, 36? She's around, she's towards the beginning of the millennial era, so she's closer to the Gen X era. And there are some millennials that, are more so living the old school lifestyle before the millennials, like the Gen Xers and the baby boomers and before that time. So Anna has just been raised with way better traditional morals, values, and ethics than the majority of other millennials. So she is the exception. Michael Portnoy, you just can't stop it about that. You can't stop talking about that guy, huh? It's all good. Don't worry about it. You can leave that message there, Mods. I don't care. I respect Michael. And, sometimes, even though you don't want to mention or talk about some people, you really feel like taking a poke at them, right? But we're not going to. We're going to just kind of overlook that. You know what I mean? She's definitely a unicorn. Well, that's a pretty big statement. I used to, as a joke, call Dana a unicorn back in the days when we were running my former channel together. And it really triggered the shit out of these MGTOW guys. They're saying, there's no such thing as a unicorn. You're a simp. You're a white knight mangina. You're this, you're that, right? And I actually went back and forth with these losers, right? These losers from these angry and bitter red pill content creator, MGTOW creator losers that are insecure and immature and very unstable and angry and bitter, right? Man, what a hell of an experience that was, I'll tell you that. But you learn to become stronger when you're able to tolerate that crap. Part of the topic here today, the challenges of running an online business on the internet, right? Part of the challenges of running an online business on the internet. I lost my train of thought. That's a challenge too. When you're live on the air and you lose your train of thought, right? It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Coach J-Rom says, Anna is 36 with traditional values, submissive, good cook, and likes working, and does something I won't mention live on the air. Unicorn. Yeah, sounds like you boys got a couple unicorns. I don't know, maybe. I don't even use the word unicorn anymore. RMP is a nice lady. Yeah, she's nice. She has her moments though, dude, like all women, but she's good. She's a good one. I'm going to keep her around. Michael Portnoy says he was so triggered today in the AM, he told me to go back to Eli, LOL. Eventually with JT says, LOL, Michael, he is very triggered. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, thank you, JT. TMI at J-Rom says, Dusty's girl. Coach J-Rom is laughing. JT says, plus, she has a couple guns on her now, too. Okay. Who's that, Anna? Oh, boy. I'm probably only going to do one side of the trail today because I need to get home, relax, and eat, and then prepare for the night stream. So folks, we literally have probably about another 20 minutes before I go off the air. Please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. 75 minutes minus a couple, 73. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. And let's see. We started at about 3:20, 4:20. So it's about 7. Is it about 7:35 Eastern, 4:35 Pacific? Somebody share the time with me right now. Is it about 7:35 Eastern, 4:35 Pacific, around there? That's what I'm estimating based on how long I've been on and when I started. Because that'd be good. I'd get back to my car by 5 p.m. Pacific, drive back, eat, and then prepare for the show. It is 4:45 your time, always 4:20 at my house. Well, if it's 4:45 my time, I better get a damn move on it. I better stop jerking around. 6:44 here, says JT, 7:44 Eastern. Thank you for the time, everybody. Folks, I also want to start discussing some more business topics on my channels and on other panels we're going on. I think what we need to do, especially now that inflation's reaching an all-time high, we need to better teach people to learn how to manage their money better and stretch their money further throughout times like these trying times. Gas is at an all-time high. Food and produce at an all-time high. Right? Everything's gone up and wages haven't changed, right? I'd like to tackle more of those business topics too. Maybe we also talk about, investments and stuff like that. I personally would like to learn a lot more about cryptocurrency. I was learning a bit about cryptocurrency. My former sponsor and former best friend, God rest his soul, before he passed away over a year ago, he was getting into it, and him and I were, learning a lot more about crypto. But now that, he's gone, all that's gone by the wayside. And so I'd like to get into learning more about crypto, learning more about how to better invest money to make more money. A lot of people don't understand that, if you've got a lot of money in a checking account or a savings account, it's not doing you any justice. You should be reinvesting as much of your money as possible and having it make you money. Checking accounts don't give you any interest at all in today's modern world. Back in the day, some banks would give you like 1% or something like that, right? Some banks used to give you like 2 or 3% or even 5% for a savings account, and some money maximizer accounts, they may still be somewhat available today. Like if you leave a certain amount of money in your savings account, you make like 5 or 10%. But even then, the banks are winning big because they're reinvesting your money, and they're also giving out your money as loans and making more money. You should be taking your money and reinvesting as much as possible into things that are called high yield money making things. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to get too technical here because, I don't want to get too far into it. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial expert. I just know what's worked for me, and what I've done with money I've made. There are so many ways to make your money last. I could make it with literally no money at all. I can make my own gas if I need to. There is almost nothing I can't make or produce myself. The thing, JT, it's funny, or it just makes me wonder how many people don't have a retirement plan or retirement account, right? Most companies that, you work for offer you a 401k retirement plan, right? And then when you become self-employed, you can roll that over like into an IRA, like an individual retirement account, and there are other options. But the majority of people don't have a retirement account. You should have that. You should also have other investments. You should be diversifying your money. Dusty's girl with the $19.99 super chat. That was unnecessary, Dusty's girl. What? Well, thank you. Thank you. That was not necessary. Wow. For all the trolls watching. Well, it's okay. Well, thank you, Dusty's girl, for the $19.99, the $20 super chat. It's very kind of you. You've been very kind to this channel. And that's okay, Dusty's girl. Let the trolls watch. Wherever they may be watching, it's not a big deal. But I do appreciate your support. And Dusty's girl, another story. She used to, be on the side of the people that used to come at me, and she figured out what was going on. And a few years ago, like a year and a half ago or so, maybe closer to 2 years, she had enough of it. She figured out the truth. I just wanted to pay you props as well, Dusty's girl. You're very much appreciated. I've always been the kind of person that, this is another thing. When it comes to business, folks, now don't get me wrong, I am a business, but I'm also very personable. Coach J-Rom with the $20 super chat. Gosh, man. I'm losing my train of thought. Coach J-Rom, I see your $19.99 and raise you a penny. Well, that's because she has an Apple like I do, and you have an Android. So we know when donations come from Apple devices, or they come from an Android device, or on the regular web. LOL. Meanie at J-Rom. Oh, thank you, J-Rom. Coach J-Rom. Like I always say, folks, it's unnecessary, but I appreciate it. I'm learning more so to, accept, donations, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Dusty's girl is laughing with all the emojis. Adventures with JT. I got a company that financial planner for me. I let them invest my money for me. I could do it myself, but the most valuable thing we all have is time. Couldn't help myself, says Coach Sharon. Thank you, brother. JT. Yeah. I know a lot of financial advisors. This is the thing that a lot of people on YouTube don't understand. And I think you folks here in my neck of the woods do understand this. That networking, even in-person networking, is a great thing. I know a lot of financial advisors. And I've always used a financial advisor to invest. Yes, do they get a small cut out of it? Sure, but they know how to manage your money the best, right? And when people invest on their own, unless you really know what the hell you're doing, you could you could do a lot of damage to your pocketbook. All right? And these financial advisors, I almost became a financial advisor when I got my insurance licenses, my property and casualty and life and health. God, how long ago was that? 13, 14 years ago? It's been a long time. Farmers also wanted me to get my Series 6 and 63 securities licenses to become a financial advisor. And I didn't stick around with Farmers long enough. I left them after a year and then worked for a broker, as an independent contractor. But, it's the securities industry is very highly regulated by an industry called FINRA. It's the regulatory authority for securities, securities and annuities. And I could actually still sell fixed annuities with my life and health insurance license, but nobody really wants the fixed one. Some people do. People want the variable annuities, and you have to have a Series 6 or Series 7, Series 6 and 66, or even the higher license, which is Series 7 and 67. Sorry, 7 and 66. It's 6 and 63 and 7 and 66. You need to have a financial advisor, securities license to sell variable annuities. So you're right, JT. Having a professional that's licensed to do this. And even if they have a license, you got to check people out. Because, there are a lot of newbies in the business that, some may be good, but some may take longer to learn. You want to deal with someone that's been doing it for at least 3, 4, or 5 years. To help, manage your money and make you money for now and in the future for retirement. I switched over to Apple, have no clue what I'm doing. I've always had an iPhone. The iPhone is the only Apple device I use. iPhones make great phones, and they're beautiful and strong phones, and they run very well. Androids are great too. My woman has an Android, but I prefer the Apple iPhone for my mobile device. Everything else I have is a Windows laptop, Windows PC, everything else is Windows. You did good at Jeremy. At the end of the day, says JT, the thing you pay for is time. Right. JT says, if I were broke, I could hunt or fish. I go to the store to buy food to save me time. Right. True, JT, says Dusty's girl. Coach J-Rom. Even if they've been doing it for a while, keep tabs on your money. People are thieves themselves. Oh, like Madoff and all those guys, right? Like the Bernie story. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do your research, and you've gotta go to trustworthy and reputable companies. And I think these are some topics that we should discuss as part of a business series. I really want to also start to focus on some business topics as well. I've always had Android, says Dusty's girl. So how do you feel about having an iPhone? Which iPhone do you have? Do you have the iPhone 13, the 13 Pro, the 13 Pro Max. You have the big one. I've got the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And the cameras are pretty similar as the 13. The 13's cameras are a little bit bigger. When the 14 comes out, man, that's going to be an even better phone. They just keep getting better. But I love my 12 Pro Max. It's still working like it is brand new. It looks brand new. I take care of it. I have a screen protector on it. I've got a nice clear, spec clear case on it. And it already comes with Gorilla Glass 6, which is, you'd have to drop it from like over 13 feet for it to even like such. Made off with an effing genius. 13 Pro Max. So you have the newer version of the same phone I have. Yeah, it's a 6.7-inch screen. It's got the 3 cameras on the back, the LiDAR sensor. It's a great phone. The 13. My recommendation, folks, if you're going to get an iPhone or an Android, get the top of the line one. Get the biggest screen with the most features, with the Pro features. I believe the Samsungs have the Ultra, which is the best version, right? What is it, the S22 Ultra, and I think the S23 is coming out. I think the S22 Ultra is the top of the line Android right now, right? And the iPhone 13 Pro Max is the top of the line. Like for me, because I do, video and I do, video intense stuff, I needed to get the top of the line phone to handle all that. I do 4K video at 60 frames per second on my iPhone. Just haven't done it in a while. I'm going to get back to doing that, but you need to have a phone that's capable of doing that. I mean, the regular iPhones can do it too. It would just take longer for it to, process. If you were going to do editing on your iPhone, you want to have the top of the line iPhone. S22 Ultra is awesome, up to 8K video, 108 megapixel camera. Yeah, and one of the cameras has a 108 megapixel camera. That's true. That is true. I think the next iPhone's going to have like a 40 megapixel camera finally. One day the iPhones will catch up to the Androids when it comes to camera specs. Apple just holds off on things because it's their marketing strategy. They want to keep selling you a new iPhone every single year. There are iPhone diehards that upgrade their phones every year. This is my third iPhone. The first one I got was the iPhone 4S after the iPhone 4G came out. I never had the iPhone 3G, or before that I was still using a Nokia flip phone, a top-of-the-line Nokia flip phone. I had the iPhone 4S. Then I got the iPhone 6 Plus a few years later because the iPhone 4S just couldn't cut anymore. Technology was getting much better. The 6 Plus was a great phone. I had that for almost 6 years. I was just waiting for 5G to be released. It wasn't released on the iPhone 11. It was released on the iPhone 12. So I got the 12 Pro Max, and I plan on having this phone. I've had this phone for almost a year and a half now, and I plan on using this phone, I'd say, for at least another year and a half to 2 years, maybe 3 years. I really have no need for an upgrade. It does everything I need it to do. I don't need 8K video. I don't plan on doing 8K video ever. If I do, maybe for a while. I mean, the capabilities are great. Don't get me wrong. But I hardly even do 4K 60. I mean, it takes a long ass time to create 4K 60 or even 4K 30 frames per second videos. Yeah, it looks great, but it takes a long time. But yeah, this phone does exactly what I need it to do. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this up here. S21 Ultra. Which one does Anna have? S21 Ultra. Samsung Galaxy Flip, is it any good? I'm not too familiar with it, but all Samsung phones are pretty good phones from what I hear. If you're going to go Android, you want to go Samsung. If you're going to go Apple, you don't have a choice. It's proprietary. Only they make phones with the iOS operating system. All right, folks. I want to thank you once again, Coach J-Rom, for the $20 super chat, and thank you again to Dusty's Girl for the $19.99 super chat. Let's just call it 20. You folks are amazing. I'm going to go off the air, come back, read the chat one more time, and then get on out of here. Be right back. Adventure with JT says S20 and S21 are too much the same. I got an S20 already. Sorry, I got an S20, gonna get S22 and need to do that already. Oh no, at J-Rom. The difference between iPhone and Android is just the operating system. And, typically Apple holds off on releasing better specs with their cameras and memory and stuff like that. They hold off on it because they want to make more money. I mean, for higher specs, you go Android, but with the iPhone, what I feel, you get a better build quality. I'm not saying Samsung doesn't make a good phone, but no one makes a phone like Apple. When it comes to phones, from an aesthetic, position, iPhone is the king, right? From a spec standpoint, it's Android. But see, Apple also does better optimizing of their processors for battery efficiency and stuff like that as well too. So you could have a smaller battery in an iPhone, and it could have the same capacity as a larger battery in a Samsung. But hey, we can talk more about that another time. No problem. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to see y'all later tonight. If you make it to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, we've got a great stream with a great story. Well, several stories. So make sure you go in the description or wait for Nightbot to share the link to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams, which is what I'm trying to say. Subscribe, bang the bell, select notifications, and that way you won't miss anything. Have a good one, and as always, be good to each other. See you soon.